Well, he is a beloved Canadian musician and former lead singer of the Great Big Sea. But Alan Doyle doesn't just do music, he's also an author. His latest book, The Smiling Land, All Around the Circle in My Newfoundland and Labrador, was published in November, and we had a chance to catch up with Doyle last month when he was in town for the Ottawa International Writers Festival. Here's our conversation.
Well, a pleasure to have a chance to speak with the Alan Doyle, musician and songwriter, musical creator, author here tonight. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's very nice to be in Ottawa. I love being in Ottawa, like when it gets just on the dusk hour and you can drive around when the lights are just coming on. It probably sounds really touristy, but I'm a bit of a tourist, and that's probably what led to this book, to be honest with you. It was like, I'm still a tourist in my own backyard, but it's very nice to be in Ottawa. Nice to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, you are so good at expressing that love of all parts of Canada, one in particular, and one of your fans on your site advertising this very event said you write the same way you sing, with a love of life, and it's just infectious. But I know you told me before that the writing is maybe not quite as pleasurable as some of the performing that you do, that in fact it's really, really tough, and maybe you did it to kill time at the Pearson Airport.
The hardest thing about writing a book is writing a book. Yeah. I'm not sure, if anybody likes writing books. I mean, everyone likes having books written and having, it's like, I say it's like going to the gym. I know it's good for me, and I know I should be doing it, and I'm glad when it's over. And that's what writing books is like. But like, I think we chatted about it before. It ended up being a real, really good companion to our travelers, like a band guy's life, because you have, what do you do between sound check and gig other than sit in a hotel room and be lonely or whatever and miss home? And so I've just found it a great companion to my days when I'm on the road. And I wrote the bulk of my 4 books somewhere in the Air Canada lounge or on an airplane or in a cafe in a strange town or in a dressing room or whatever. And I find it's a great way to pass the time productively.
So much of your books, of course, are about home. Yeah. Why this one in particular? And did it have anything to do with your son and wanting to share some of the experiences with him and share some of what you loved or hadn't seen recently in Newfoundland with him?
No, you're totally right. Like the 2 things. I love this kind of book where it's like an observational kind of travel book. Like one of my favorite writers is a guy named Bill Bryson. I love him, and I love the way he takes you along with him on journeys, and you feel like you're stood next to him in a pub in Britain or on a hike in New England or whatever. I always thought I could do okay writing a book like that, and then of course my love for Newfoundland and Labrador and it would be a great spot to try it out. And then our son, myself and my wife Joanne have a son, Henry, and he's 19 now, but he was like late 17-year-old, 18-year-old when we did most of this book. And I just wanted him to see his own backyard, because strangely enough, like even though he was born, in St. John's in the city with the internet and all the stuff, and I was born in Petty Harbour, with barely a phone and my grandfather's 3 encyclopedias, I feel like I knew more about Newfoundland when I was 19 than he does. And I was
kind of hitchhiking all over.
That's right. Like I feel like I knew more about it, and so I really wanted him to see it before, he would reach the age when him and myself and Joanne would never convince him to get in a car with us again for 10 years, the way kids do, So I was really grateful for it. I really was, and I really loved it. It's funny, I complain about writing books, but this one, the making of this one was kind of special and kind of fun.
The research part, right?
Yeah.
Telltale Harbour. Yeah. It's come a little closer. Toronto. It's not quite here in Ottawa. Worth the trip to Toronto for some of us here in Ottawa?
I'd love to do it here in Ottawa as well. Oh my God, they got the beautiful theatre here. I'd love to do it there. We're having a great time. We just wrapped up the latest leg of it at Murphy's Theatre at the Royal Alex in Toronto, and it was sold out every single night, just rammed. 1,200 or 1,300 people in there, and people are really loving the night out that we're giving them. It's a tale with enough home and enough heart in it, but it's really a funny, farcical night out about, the lead character that I play is a fellow who gets himself in trouble a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a lot.
I've loved watching your Instagram posts on that. I mean, you're really a Renaissance man doing a little bit of all of it. I want to ask you about the next time you will be in Ottawa. As far as I can tell on your schedule, maybe you sneak in, but you're at the NAC in March, and I know when we talked about Blues Fest, you said some lovely things about Blues Fest and how
Yeah,
much you love playing
it's
there.
fabulous.
So I'll throw the NAC out for
Yeah.
you in March. What do you think about being on that?
Oh my God, it's glorious. Like the NAC, the Massey Hall in Toronto, and then the 2 Jubilee auditoriums in Alberta, probably the Orpheum in Vancouver. Just like those are the A-list halls in the country, right? And like it's such a thrill to get to play. We don't have that many theaters that have more than 2,000 seats. And so it's really cool to be at the NAC. And much like the Confederation Center in Charlottetown or one of those ones, like you walk up and down the halls of the NAC and you see all the black and white photographs of like all the different theater bits and bands and people who have played there over the years. It's really fun to be in that, just one little point in that lineage of it all.